hosting a panel discussion. Maybe not hosting, I'm part of a panel discussion at Homme DC Gallery. And it's to talk about my brand, my art. And here it is.
So thank you guys for coming over here. My name is Matthew Turamu. I know some people have a tough time saying that, so I go by Matt as well. I'm an artist and curator here at Homme DC. A little bit about Homme. We are a local gallery that promotes, women artists and minority artists, give them a platform and a space to showcase their artwork, tell a story, really expand their way of showing artwork. And as a curator, I've worked with multiple artists that have gone to present in multiple art fairs here in DC and then around the nation and internationally. So this is just a really great platform for artists, curators, and a community of people to get together and really promote local art. So, today I definitely want to thank our sponsors, Saturday's Football. I know most of you guys are here for that as well. They have a great collection of vintage jerseys that look fantastic, and then they have some apparel as well. And then also we have some participating artists. We have Guerrilla FC. Thank you guys for showcasing your artwork over here as well. You guys are really building a beautiful community for everybody in DC, in the DMV area. And then we have Ray. Ray's a fantastic artist. I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hello. Thanks for coming. My name is RRose. I grew up here and I have a brand and a platform called RRose From Concrete with a double R. Yeah. Do you want to continue or?
Oh, no.
No, keep going?
Yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up here. I grew up in Virginia. Now I live in Los Angeles. So I moved to LA. Oh, that's like squeaking.
I guess you gotta put your hand down a little bit.
Okay. In 2018, so I'm only here for the weekend. I fly back tomorrow.
That's unfortunate.
So a little bit about me. So like I said, I have a brand called RRose From Concrete. And it's not a brand that I think of like a traditional streetwear brand. So it is a streetwear brand as a business, but I view it as a platform that I built to be able to tell my stories. The stories that I try to tell are very personal, but I also think that my stories are very relatable to a lot of people. So in that way, they feel like this is also part of their life, this is their journey, their brand, all of that. So I try to tell the stories of the underdog, those stories that are often overlooked. And the name of the brand kind of embodies all of that, all of those values. So if you think about the word rose, I would guarantee you most people are going to think about the flower, the red, beautiful flower that we know. But it's a triple entendre for me. First meaning, the flower. Second meaning is past tense of to rise, like you rose up. And then the third, triple entendre, it's a very personal one for me. The biggest underdog that I know, my mom's name, her name is Rose. So she is the rose that rose from concrete. So that's kind of like a full circle. And I try to tell the stories of my mom's experiences, my experiences. I'm a Korean American immigrant, raised by a single mom, me, my mom, and my sister. So I have a lot of stories to tell. You can only imagine I flew to New York, Queens when I was 9. Didn't know a lick of English. I couldn't even spell my name on the paper. got in trouble my first day of school because I thought I was in the wrong classroom and all of that. So yeah, a lot of crazy stories that I've experienced. So I try to tell those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts, the imagery that I had with all those experiences through my brand. And I am a huge soccer football fan, and there's no way that I could not add a little bit of those elements to my brand, and that's why you see all of this happening right here. But yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ray. I didn't know that you were from Virginia.
Yeah, grew up here.
That's pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, just to finalize the introduction, I do want to make sure that I highlight the three artists, me being one of them. I did this painting over here, and then we have Joe, that's a pointillist artist that has the soccer painting that's over there, and then we have another artist, Stefano, who designed his own jersey out of jean and sashiko stitching design. So make sure to take a look at that as well, and like follow them on Instagram because they're a participating artist. But yeah, once again, thank you, Ray, for that. Just want to emphasize the reason that we're here is for art, football, and community, and what that kind of means to us, and how that's kind of driven us professionally through a community and stuff like that. One of the main reasons that we have Guerrilla FC here is because, like I said in the beginning, they're creating a fantastic community of people that really don't judge on very much, you know, only if you could like lace up and really play, you know, that's the biggest thing there. But other than that, they put some really good community events on. They had one yesterday. They put these jerseys on. They had Ray over there, heat pressing from what I heard over there.
All day.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of voluntary stuff that you guys do. I know you guys don't get paid for it, but you guys really make a movement in the community, and wanted to give thanks to you guys for that. But yeah, just to break it down, guys, we're gonna do a little Q&A with me and Ray, and then we'll pass it on to you guys. If you guys have any thoughts, questions, or anything that you just want to get off your chest, and you have a mic on here, you know. So let me move on to the first question for you, Ray. What drew you into the space of art, football, and community, and which one holds the most significance for you?
What drew me was, I played soccer my whole life. My dream was to be a soccer player, but little did I know that I was never good enough. But I only know that now as an adult. But when you're a kid, sky's the limit. I'm gonna try, I just love to do it. So that was kind of like my passion. And then once I knew I wasn't gonna make it, I just fell in love with Ronaldinho. And then when this was at a time when Ronaldinho was moving to clubs every season. This is after the Milan, after Barcelona days. And when he was moving around, because I loved him as a player, I loved all of the jerseys, all the teams that he were playing in, every season. And the jerseys were so beautiful to me, only maybe because I just loved Ronaldinho. Fluminense, Flamengo, Querétaro, all of those teams that I got them. I got the jerseys. So that kind of drew me into the fashion side, almost the visual side of football, of soccer. Before that, it was I'm just playing. I love to sweat. I love playing with my friends. That's what drew me in. And with what I'm doing right now, none of this was planned. Okay. This was it kind of became a thing because of my hatred, actually, for my corporate job. So when I had that hatred, I was I am not doing this for 30 years. My first day of work, I was at an accounting firm. I was doing public accounting in McLean right here. My first day, I looked at my boss. He was in his separate office, sitting down, and I was if I'm doing this for 30 years, that's me. I'm looking at my future self. I don't want to look like that. So the first day I was okay, I can't, I need to search for something else. So, but that took me 3 years. I still worked for 3 years, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And long story short, I was trying all these different things. I would go to a studio in DC after my 8 p.m. Work is over at McLean, drive to DC and work as a production assistant, like holding up lights, getting donuts for talent, for free, almost every night. And I was like, okay, actually, this is not for me either. Like, these people are actually passionate about this. I thought I might be interested, but actually, no, this ain't it for me either. So then I started writing for like an online magazine. I started to dive into like more football stuff, like slowly. And then I was like, okay, I need to quit. Let me quit everything, what I'm doing in Virginia. I had no jobs, nothing lined up, just drove cross country to LA. And then somehow I'm here right now speaking to all of you. But yeah, that's
Just to emphasize,
yeah.
which one do you feel like you hold significant for you?
Like community football, yeah. I mean, community is really everything, like for me. Football is like my passion, and I build a community because of my interest in it, but the community is what keeps me going. So like even with my brand, in the beginning, it was my community of my friends that were supporting it. Eventually, it became friends of friends, and eventually it became friends of friends of friends. And it's still growing like that, every level. And then now, like, it's a little bit more than what I'm doing. It's about, now I've promised a certain vision to all these people that are drawn into my stuff. So now I have a responsibility to kind of, live by that value. So community is everything.
Yeah, no, I just, when you said community, I think that I hold that most significant, because like you said about football, I mean, it's great and all, but it was frustrating knowing that at one point you just got to hang up the boots, being competitive. And, it brings some negative thoughts, like you're like, oh, that was my passion, that was my identity, I was a soccer player, I traveled the world. I traveled through Europe and South America to play soccer. And so when it came to the day where I was like, I'm not going to play anymore, it became like a negative connotation onto me until, I found a community that expressed soccer and football through art and these community events. So, it really pulled me out. And then having these pickups where Guerrilla FC like host really helped, because, you don't have to worry about making mistakes. You could do a step over, you could take a shot when in other times, you were under the scope of of your coach. So things like that. I mean, I think community is the greatest thing, because with the community, like you said, I mean, you could shift with the community too, and you could shift that community into something positive or something different, supporting different things. I know that in the area, you guys have definitely supported other groups as well and stuff like that. So I think that community, building that, is one of the better things about this realm that we're kind of like in, like you said. So next question, how do you see art and football growing together, and how does that affect you as a fan and as an artist?
Yeah, I see it growing all the time. I mean, it's always been growing, and it will never stop, especially when people are dealing with something they're so passionate about. Like, you really can't drown out that fire. If it doesn't, you just can't stop it, especially for a sport that's so global. You're gonna constantly see it grow. And not just from like art, as in like visual, musically, or just like literature, like anything you may think of that's art, it's gonna always have a place with football, with soccer, just because it's a sport that's so emotional, it's so global, and I mean, there's also money in there. Let's not forget, there's money, which also drives artists to keep going. They got to survive somehow. So as long as we invest, I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Honestly, I have to agree with you. Yeah, I mean, as an artist, making money in this situation is one of the bigger hurdles that you have to do. So having this art and football grow together, it just builds this bubble for these artists to really place themselves to make this money. So that kind of moves on to the next question, and like, what does USA hosting the World Cup mean to you? And give me some positives and negatives if you could.
I mean, it means it's very significant because I've been to all of the World Cups since 2014.
Wow.
Only reason why I didn't start earlier was because I had no money. So 2014 was when I started making my own money. So that's when I started. So Brazil, Russia, Qatar, I've been there. My life's goal and mission is to go to every World Cup till I die. And take my kids with me once I have kids. I have no kids now, but once I do, make it a family tradition. And then when I die, they make it a family tradition. Like, I want it to carry on forever. So that's my goal. So it coming to US, North America is amazing. I mean, it saves me a little bit of money, traveling costs and all of that. But I'm also a little bit pessimistic, a little bit afraid, like, because I know what the experience is like when I went to Brazil, like the best time I've ever had in my life. For a month, the whole country, it's a fiesta the whole month. Everybody's partying. Going from that to the US, where I'm like, do people even really care about this like as much as what I've experienced? I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm a little bit like scared that it may not be like the authentic experience that I felt. But the positive is, I mean, yeah, we'll see. It's a different perspective. Like the unknown it could be a negative or a positive. That's why it's the unknown. So, I mean, I'm hopeful, but I'm excited.
Yeah, no, you actually bring up a really good point because, like you said, Brazil is a country that's kind of known for their love for football. USA has American football, and I mean, that's a real big passion for people. And I personally experienced the passion of American football, and like you, I only hope that it is like transferred over into American football. You know, I'm originally Colombian, so the passion of Colombian supporters, I know that's going to be there. So there's going to be other countries that are going to come and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be one of the more positive things is the multicultural venues where there's just going to be people mixed up of all different cultures and places that they're supporting. One of the negatives that I do see is the pricing.
Yeah.
It's always been a World Cup. I mean, it's always been a tournament where they want people to go, so prices don't get hiked up because they want people attending, they want people going. So with rising prices, there's a good portion of people that just get knocked out from being able to see something that, like you said, changed your life, and now you want to do this for the rest of your life and pass this on to your kids. Somebody's not going to have that experience because the prices are just too much and they can't afford it, But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, rooting for Colombia and USA is a pretty nice thing. Moving on, I think, what do you think about the recent group draws? I know that you support South Korea, right?
Yeah.
So what does that kind of mean for you, and what do you see for South Korea?
Well, before the draw, so we were at a draw event with Guerrilla FC yesterday. Before the draw, I put on my Instagram story, I was like, I want Korea versus Mexico. And the reason why I want that is because there's like, I don't know if you guys know, there's like a thing like Coreano hermano, ya eres mexicano. It's like you got Koreans, you guys are my brothers, pretty much. And that happened because of 2018, Korea beat Germany, and because we did that, Mexico was able to move on to the next round. So there's like a whole like little meme / like love between the two countries for some, like not for some reason, but like it is what it is. So like, and I love that. So I wanted to play them because they'll be extra spicy, and actually it happened. We got that.
I see that you got the jersey.
Yeah. So that green one, it's a Total 90 Nike kit, it's like a Mexican-inspired jersey, but I like turned it into with the design elements I put are Korean elements, and then in the back it says hermano with like a Korean yin-yang symbol on the back. So that shows like I love that whole thing going on. So I am happy. I will be going to Guadalajara for the game, Korea versus Mexico. And I think all of our group games are actually in Mexico. So we got Monterrey and Guadalajara, and then
2 Guadalajara games. So yeah, I'm stoked. I think we have a good chance to move on. Yeah, I think we have a good chance. Top 2, we should definitely go. We should definitely go through. And then I do wish we had a game in the U.S. though, because there are very prominent Korean American communities in the U.S. DMV is actually pretty big. You know, I would love to have a Korean game in LA. We will go we'll go crazy in LA for a Korean game. And New York too. New York area, you know, New York, LA, Chicago, Atlanta, DMV, like Koreans, we out here. You know, so I hope we have a game in one of those in the round of 32. So we gotta go to the final, eh? Versus Jamaica, let's go. You know what I mean?
That would be nice. That would be nice. Before I open it up to the audience for questioning, I did want to let you take a moment, and if you wanted to point out any of the jerseys behind me, or speak about the flag a little bit, and tell us a little bit about your mindset, the process of it, and the reception of what you've done.
Okay. Yeah. So just to start, like this flag was a flag that I made for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. So the reason why I came up with this idea was I just wanted to take a Korean flag to the World Cup, and I was like, you know what? Everybody's gonna have the same Korean flag. I mean, it is what it is. So I didn't want to just do that. So I was like, what can I do? So all of the jerseys you see here are all of the countries that participated in the 2018 World Cup. And here you will see 31 jerseys, and there are 32 teams. So the bottom right, you see it's like just an empty white square. That's supposed to be for Denmark, but Denmark released their jerseys like very late, like it was by Homme. So like all the major brands released early, but Homme kind of lagged, so I couldn't get their jersey. But you'll see all of the countries' jerseys over there making a Korean flag, cut and stitched together. So I've taken that, got it signed by the Korean national team on the middle top. Son Heung-min, like all those players are all in there. So that's that. This one, so just to give a brief background, like my brand is not a soccer brand. My brand is my life's brand, but my life consists of soccer, so that's just part of it. So if you guys, you know, don't know about my brand, if you dive deep into it, the soccer thing was actually something I infused this year. All of the collections that I released were nothing to do with soccer, but this year I wanted to, you know what? Let me put my love for the sport into my brand as well. Why not? So that's kind of the background, but the design elements, none of this was planned for. Like this right here, the fact that I'm sitting here right now talking with people about this is insane, because all of this happened step by step. As you may see, if you know, I mean, this is a full-on Stussy rip. I'm ripping the hell off Stussy right here. And you know, I'm not denying it. It's cool. Like for me, I love flips. That's how I got into streetwear. That's my base. You know, so when I had no background in streetwear, I was a CPA here, moved out to LA, and I had no job. I walked straight into a streetwear store called Sir. They're an OG streetwear brand. I just asked for a job. Walked in straight to the back of the office, asked for a job, and then got a job on that same day. But if you guys know, the reason why I'm sharing that is Sir is known for flipping logos. They're known for bootlegging. Gotcha. So that's where I come from with my vision of streetwear and what I love. So me doing Stussy, I love it. That's what I do. So to give my step-by-step thinking of the design concept here is I love Stussy, I love soccer. I love the 8-ball element that Stussy does. That's their iconic graphic. So what can I do with that concept that I love with my brand and my love for football? Okay, well, number 8. Who is a famous number 8 player? Oh, Iniesta. I'm a Barca fan. Iniesta. So my first jersey I did was a Barcelona jersey with putting number 8 on the back, like Stussy style, putting Iniesta as a name. So to me, that's like a little twist that I'm doing, because number 8 has nothing. The 8 billiard ball has nothing to do with soccer at all. But let me try to connect the two. Okay, Iniesta is number 8. Who else is number 8? Spain. Xavi wears number 8 for Spain. Okay, let me put Xavi on the back. And then I was like, I don't want to limit myself to only number 8 now. I love Ronaldinho. That's my GOAT. The world's GOAT is Messi. My GOAT is Ronaldinho. He wears number 10. But okay, number 8, number 8 billiard ball, but there are number 10s in billiard balls too. There's actually a lot of numbers in billiard balls. So you don't see it here, but I put number 10 with Seedorf, with who else? Bunch of different other number 10s with different other jerseys. And then, as you can see, you see like number 7 now, you see number 11 now. Like this is Neymar when he wore 11 at Barcelona. Number 7, Ronaldo. So it kind of like grew step by step of me thinking that I don't want to be limited to one idea. I was like, let me just try it out. So the idea is that, and then it grew to a Margiela rip, as you can see. So I was like, okay, I don't want to only be limited to doing Stussy billiard ball number concept. What other brands do something iconic that has like a number attached to their brand? Margiela, you know, and I love like ripping off like luxury brands too. So Margiela does like a number thing where they have a number tag, but for them it's a functional way where when they circle a number, it's to relate to a specific collection. So if they circle like number 1, it's like a woman's collection. If they circle like a number 6, it's like a men's collection. So for them it's very functional, but for me, I'm just trying to highlight the number of whatever the player they wear. So number 19, Lamine Yamal wears number 19. So all this to say, none of this was planned. It was just like me just taking every step by step of like, okay, I want to like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And then now I built a whole collection around it. And here I am again, like somehow I'm here talking to you about this. So even this right here is a step that I took to explain this. And who knows what will bring in the future for me taking this step. I don't know, you know.
No, honestly, thank you for that. I mean, being an artist myself, I could relate to a lot of things, like just the experiences that you had in life that kind of like molded you and like made this your brand, you get me? But yeah, I don't want to take away from the audience. If anybody has a question or a thought, please raise your hand. I can pass you the microphone and you can ask either one of us or it could just be a thought.
Appreciate both of you, appreciate this space. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the intersection of art and soccer in the different markets. So like DC versus LA versus New York. I'm from New York. I don't know if anybody is from New York, but it's a very different experience. So I'm curious just to know your thoughts on the similarities and differences.
Can we stand up for the rest
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
Because this is more of an open conversation,
Yeah.
so I definitely don't want to be like sitting here. If
Go
anybody
ahead.
else has a thought about that for this question, please let me know. So I'm actually born and raised from Miami, so I have a whole totally different like perspective of soccer, the passion that it has, because it was a melting pot of South American and Caribbean culture. So I had Jamaican friends, I had Spanish friends, I had Colombian, Chilean, anywhere from South America, they were repping it there. So like games are big, you know, like gatherings are big because we were, I mean, most of us were first generation or second generation immigrants. So we were pretty much rooted out from our country and put into like this little spot and kind of grew together. And so like you get other people like Peruvian people cheering for another South American coach team or something like that, just because, you know, everybody's kind of in that same situation where this is like a melting pot for us. And so having a World Cup here, having it in Miami is going to be one of the more bigger spots for the South Americans. And, you know, I feel like most of them will feel at home there, you know, so that's an advantage that some people haven't really seen. I know there's home field advantage for USA, Canada, and Mexico, but some of the South American teams are going to use Miami as a base, as a home base.
So your question was like, how are the culture, like the soccer, football culture different coast to coast? I think me growing up here, culture-wise, it's very hard to feel like you're connected in the DMV area. So that's why Guerrilla FC is a huge asset to this area because of what they do.
And I was part of Guerrilla FC since the day it was formed, so I know exactly what the value is, what they're trying to do, and it honestly doesn't exist other than Guerrilla FC, in my opinion. Maybe there are other organizations out there that I don't know about, and I'm so glad Alyssa and Chris, they're bringing it back. So thank you guys. But in terms of playing, I feel like it's easier to play the actual sport in the DMV just because of everything's so spread out. I mean, there's more land, so and there are more fields that you can just play on versus me going to LA. There is more of a culture in terms of like the art side, like community, like more events happening around the sport. But for the actual game, like when you're trying to play a pickup, it's harder than Virginia. So it's like a little bit of like Virginia is better or DMV is better with this, but like LA is better with this. But you know, so yeah, LA is more pay to play. I feel like Virginia, DMV had more access for kids to get into the sport. Yeah.
Anybody else have a question?
I think this is kind of like a controversial topic, but what's your opinion on the intersection of like soccer and politics and art, like a business? Because I mean, I feel like as a diehard soccer fan, I've been watching since, you know, as long as I can remember. I feel like the current state of politics makes it hard for other countries to participate in the sport, and then on top of that, like be a part of the World Cup, because like you said, it's ridiculously expensive to get tickets to any games. So.
No, you can go ahead. First.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, yesterday we saw it in the drawing. The president of FIFA kind of, trying to find a nice way of saying this, kind of bending the knee to Donald Trump. And I mean, not to really, I mean, you did bring up politics. I mean, unfortunately, politics are being forced onto the sport. You know, there's been teams like Russia that have been banned from participating in and stuff like that because of some of the crimes. Then comes the conversation, so if we're going to ban Russia, should we ban other countries that are doing other hateful things? And I mean, unfortunately, you know, for the fan, it's kind of forced upon you, you know. Everybody has their thoughts, and I think that's also very important in soccer, that everybody has their thoughts, and, you know, fans get to relay those thoughts through like banners or like signs that they make and stuff like that. So politics has always been in soccer. I mean, it's always been a political thing, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's